Hello, I might have made a mistake um, about when you add a bulb in a circuit, what happens to the current. I might have said that when you add a bulb in the circuit, the current does not change. And I want to correct myself. The correct answer is that the current decreases if you add a bulb in the circuit. So this is a statement that I might have made to some of you is incorrect. I'll show you how. So we have this circuit. Let's say you have a switch here, a light bulb, call it number one, some battery, let's call this light bulb number two, and another light bulb number three. So you have three light bulbs and a switch that you can see on your screen right now. And I'm going to copy this switch and I'm going to make another diagram that will be exactly the same, but it will represent the state when the switch is closed. So switch close and switch open. Right? So if you're if you can at this point it would be nice if you can open the website for the simulation of the circuit. To do that, you can click here under video slash simulations, and you click here, and then you want to click here, and then on the next tab on your browser you will see this window. Make sure you select conventional here on the right. So let's make the circuit. Okay, let's make the circuit. We're trying to make these circuits on this web page, on this application right here. So it's a very easy task. I mean, if you have not done this before, you can follow along, and if you have done this before, you can set it up for yourself and then check whether do you set it up correctly or not. So we have a battery, and we need some pieces of wire. Switch. So this is the circuit, and it's easier to compare this circuit that you have here with this circuit that you have on the left hand side. If the switch is open, then this is what you can do. As you can see that the battery supplies the current, goes through bulb number 1, goes through bulb number 3, and goes through bulb number 1. And this is when the switch is open. If you close the switch, then you can see that when the switch is closed, only these two bulbs are working, and this one basically does not work. So switch open, all of them working, switch close, just two of out of three are working. So the way you can understand this is the current comes here at this point, and basically it has two ways to go. Either it can go through this, it can go through this. But if you have the switch open, there's a physical barrier, a gap in the circuit. So there's not anything through which the current can flow. So the current only chooses this path where it has to go through this bulb. But if the switch is closed, it has two options. But the problem is this option, this pathway, has a bulb in it. So it provides some resistance to the flow of electricity. So instead of going this way, it chooses to go this way. So by the flick of the switch, you can either include the third bulb in the circuit, or you can exclude it. So now that's how you make a circuit that is this here on the web page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two things, voltmeter and ammeter. Actually, I'm just going to use ammeter. Ammeter is a device that measures current. So we're trying to answer the question, when you add a bulb into the circuit, does the current go up, or does it go down, or does it remain the same? The answer is that the current goes down, and that is what I'm trying to show here using this using this setup that you see on your screen right now. So in order to measure the current, I need to make the current go through this multimeter. So for that, all I need to do is make sure the current goes through this multimeter. So I'm going to break the circuit here so that I can insert this current meter here. And as you can see, the current it displays as 0.45 amperes or 0.45 capital A. Now I need so now as you can see, I'll open the switch, where in doing so I will not give a second option for electricity to pass, because it will create a physical gap, and the electricity will have to go through the third bulb as well. So when I open the switch, the third bulb will be added in the circuit. Now when that happens, what I'm trying to prove is the current will go down. So let's do it. There you go. So when you have the switch open, as you can see, the current is 0.30 amperes, and when you have the switch closed, the current is 0.5 ampere. So it is true that when you add a bulb, for example, when you do something like this, the current goes down, and when you get rid of the bulb, the current goes up.